All right, it is time for our next social studies lesson. So we are learning about natural features or landforms and bodies of water. So last week we did the cut and glue activity for landforms. And this week we are going to do that for bodies of water. So we're going to learn about the different bodies of water before completing our task. We talked a little bit about bodies of water when we did our water cycle unit because we had to think about where were all the places that the water came from. So keep that in the back of your head. We would have seen some of these words before. All right, so first of all, what is a body of water? It is any area of land that is covered by water. 3/4, so 75% of the earth is covered with water in various shapes and forms like oceans, rivers, lakes. Here's a beautiful picture, so I'm not blocking it for you. All right. First body of water we're going to talk about is the oceans. So in BC, we are really, really lucky because we live on the coast and we're able to easily go to the ocean. If you've traveled down to the coast, Vancouver, that area, you would have seen the ocean. So the oceans are large bodies of water made up of salt water. We have 5 oceans in our world. We have the Pacific Ocean, which is the ocean closest to us. The ocean we see when we go to the coast is the largest ocean, and it is covering 1/3 of the Earth's surface. It is the biggest ocean. How cool is that? So oceans are very large bodies of water, and they are made up of salt water. Here is a picture of the world laid out flat instead of on a globe, showing you the different oceans. So we have the Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, the Southern Ocean, the Arctic Ocean, the Indian Ocean, and if this was all wrapped all around, the Pacific Ocean is on this side as well, because it wraps around, so it's all connected. So those are our 5 different oceans that we have on Earth. All right, now there are the seas. So the sea is different than oceans. So seas are large bodies of water, but are definitively smaller than oceans. They are partly enclosed by a land mass and connect to an ocean. So they are connected to an ocean, but they are surrounded by some land. Here is a beautiful picture of a sea. Let's see. So that's the definition of a sea. So it's just like the ocean, but slightly smaller. It's connected to the ocean. That's a sea. Oops. Lakes. Right here in Logan Lake, we have a lake that we get to see. How wonderful is that? Lakes are so beautiful. The definition of a lake is a water body completely surrounded by land. Lakes can be salty or fresh water. So you know that Logan Lake is completely surrounded by land. It has a beautiful walking trail where you can walk around the entire thing. So lakes are completely enclosed by land. And they're made of fresh water, so it wouldn't taste salty if you were to have some of the water. The next one is rivers. Rivers are large flowing water bodies that end in an ocean or the sea. So the Fraser River that we have here in BC goes all the way across BC and it ends up in the Pacific Ocean. And it flows and it moves the water. That's where our salmon go, is in the rivers before they're released out into the ocean. So rivers are flowing bodies of water. So the water is constantly moving. A gulf. A gulf is a large area of an ocean or sea that is partially surrounded by land. An example is the Gulf of Mexico. So you can see in this picture here, it is partly surrounded land, this is the Gulf of Mexico in here. So it's a large body of water connected to an ocean or a sea that is partially enclosed by some land. So there's some land surrounding it, kind of giving it a bit of a hug. A canal. A canal are waterways that are built by people and used for shipping and travel. A canal may also serve as a shortcut between two bodies of water. So canals were created to transport goods and items back in the day to make things quicker because water flows so nicely that it was a really easy way to move timber and other goods from one place to another. People travel on canals in Venice, Italy, instead of using roads. So there are lots of canals. You can see the boats and all the lights, and you can go down there just like you were going down the road in your car. It's pretty cool. But these ones are man-made, unlike all the other features we have looked at so far. Glaciers. How cool. Glaciers are thick ice that covers a large area of land, and they move really slowly. And around 10% of the world's land is covered by glacier. 10% is all glaciers. How cool. So it's essentially frozen water that moves really, really slowly. That's called a glacier. Waterfalls. Waterfalls are so cool. I'm sure if you have been hiking around, you have seen some small waterfalls. One of the big ones in Canada that I have seen is Niagara Falls in Ontario. It was beautiful. A waterfall is basically water falling. It's exactly what the name sounds like, from a tall height. It forms when a river flows over an edge of hard rock and falls a great distance. So it's when there's a lot of water falling off of a steep cliff or edge. So normally it is from a river flowing off a waterfall. Ooh, this is cool. So these falls here, they're called the Angel Falls in Venezuela, South America, and they are the world's highest waterfalls. Oh cool, the world's tallest waterfalls. All right, so those are our different bodies of water. So your job is to go into your socials and science duotang to find the bodies of water one and to match the pictures, cut them out and paste them in the right spot, thinking about all of the little clues we just talked about for each one. Your job also for today is to do our landform word search. So at the very back, you will find this landform word search. Try and find as many words as you can. The words are at the bottom. Can't wait to see you find as many words as you can and fill in our bodies of water, and I'll see you in the next science or socials video. Bye-bye.